Also joining us now on NDTV is former Chief Minister of Maharashtra and senior leader of the Congress, Mr. Prithviraj Chavan. Today, Mr. Ajit Pawar passed away, the longest serving Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, sir. In fact, you also had him serving as your deputy when you were in government. What do you think is the one quality you will always remember him by in government? Of course, as politician, as an individual, but as somebody who was in government with you in a Congress-NCP government, what's the one quality that you'll always recall?
Well, without a doubt, his punctuality, his hard work, his decisiveness will always remain in my mind. We both became, I became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra in November 2010, and he was my Deputy CM. First time that he became a Deputy Minister after being in the government for a very long time. We were together for 4.5 years. We had our ups and downs. We took many important decisions in the interest of the people of Maharashtra, and many of them, I confess, I would not have been able to take without his active support. But he also differed on many things. He was impetuous. Many times he did not follow the rules. He wanted to get things done without any delay. But, there are rules and regulations, and you cannot have a rule of the jungle when you're running a government. And we used to have our slight differences, but we were able to run. We both were trying to grow our respective parties, and there were clashes on behalf of that. I remember once when I took some important decisions, which he didn't like, or he perhaps thought wrongly that I was trying to target him personally. And he resigned from the position of Deputy CM in a huff, and he was out of the government for some time. Then myself and Mr. Sharad Pawar persuaded him to rejoin the government, which he did after a month or so. He was my finance minister also, and he presented many budgets, and is ever since November 2010, when he became the Deputy CM and the finance minister with me. He has been the finance minister of many chief ministers. He has presented many Maharashtra state government budgets, and he was about to present the 26-27 Maharashtra budget very soon. On one hand, we had the rural local bodies elections, the Jilla Parishad elections, beginning today. And he was going to launch the campaign from his hometown, Baramati. And on the other hand, he was also holding budget-related meetings, shuffling the two responsibilities, and that's why he was trying to rush to Baramati to address some political meetings and then go back to Bombay to continue with his budget-making exercises. He was extremely hardworking, extremely punctual, extremely decisive. He never missed a meeting. If the meeting was to start at 10 o'clock, he used to be there at 9:55. He did not tolerate laziness or laxness in the officers, and officers, when they came to his meeting, were very aware of his habits, and they would also be very punctual. He was very matter-of-factly in the meetings, never fiddling with his papers, pens, telephone, but completely focused on the issue at hand. And by the end of the meeting, there used to be a decision. And that was his decisiveness. Many times, decisions backfired also, but he was magnanimous enough to correct the decisions, to accept his, mistake in the first place. We were on the opposite side of the political spectrum. We were together in the alliance. We were against each other in different formations. Of late, after 2019, when he broke away from the parent NCP and formed a Ajit Pawar faction and joined the BJP. We were on the opposite side of the political spectrum. Even in this Jilla Parishad election, we are fighting against each other, his party and our party. Unfortunately, his party did not do too well in the
municipal
corporation elections, which took place very few days back. He did pretty badly. But he bested Sharad Pawar's faction, and we are looking forward to the two factions, the Sharad Pawar faction and the Ajit Pawar faction, merging together back into the original NCP.
You think that's going to happen in the shifting sands of politics in Maharashtra? You think that now that is inevitable?
Now, we don't know what happens now, because the key question will be who leads the NCP Sharad Pawar faction. Will it be somebody from his family, his wife, maybe his son, or will it be some other non-family senior leader like Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal or Mr. Praful Patel, or I don't know who else. It all depends, and that leader will then have to take a call whether two parties should merge. Of course, merger of the two parties is inevitable, because two parties, their vote base shrunk substantially, and for them to remain independent individual identities is very difficult. So their merging together is inevitable. Now, who would be the leader of the merged entity, I cannot say. There is also a possibility that they merge under the leadership of Mr. Sharad Pawar himself, or will it be somebody from the family? Then second question is, who replaces him as a finance minister in the Devendra Fadnavis government? Will he be the deputy CM again, or will the finance portfolio be reshuffled? It is a very short time for the budget. Can a new person take over? Or maybe the chief minister will have to present the budget, the first immediate budget after this tragic incident. Only we'll know in a couple of days. There is 3 days of mourning. I don't think any major decision will be taken in this
Absolutely. And if the family does unite, and if the party does merge, the two parties do merge, where will they stay? If Mr. Sharad Pawar becomes, takes over the reins again, will he continue to stay with the Mahayuti?
Well, that's in the future. I don't know. I don't think Mr. Pawar himself will align with Mahayuti or with the BJP. But there's also a possibility that the younger element in the party would take a different view. And then Mr. Pawar will just say that, look, young people are not listening to me. But that's in the future. Next 2-3 days will define the shape of things to come. But it is, he was a pillar of strength to the Devendra Fadnavis government. I think whether the NCP faction returns back to Congress fold or merges into the BJP or tries to retain its independent identity is very difficult to tell at this moment. We're still in a state of shock.
Absolutely. But as a congressman, do you think that is something that you would like to see, for the NCP to return to your alliance?
It's not what I like to think, but I think if you look at future of Maharashtra and, for example, future of national politics, there is going to be two ideologies, maybe with little bit of factions here and there aligned to them, but two ideologies will be one, which is a communal ideology, which you call the Manuvadi mindset, who would like to go back to the good old days with Chaturvarna system and all that. And the other side, there is the Samatavadi parties, which believe in the thought of Phule, Shahu, Ambedkar in Maharashtra, which believe in constitution, we believe in secularism, inclusive development and growth. These two pillars, these two poles will fight the Indian politics in the future. There could be some smaller parties aligned here and there, but ultimately these two thoughts are going to be predominant. And Mr. Pawar belonged to the other faction, that is the Samatavadi faction, the Phule Shahu Ambedkarite thought. And I think he himself would not, I don't think will compromise and join the BJP or the communal forces, as we call them. But you cannot say that about the followers, the people who are used to know offices of holding powerful offices of the ministers and other things. They are used to that cushy life. They may not want to struggle against the ruling party of Mr. Modi. We don't know what's in the store in our future.
Talking about your personal memories again of Ajit Pawar, you spoke of how he was extremely, very, very particular about being on time. A lot of stories that we've heard about how he was an early riser. He was somebody, who used to wake up about 4 a.m., just get a couple of hours of sleep. The fact that today he had already taken off from Mumbai at 8-10 a.m. Anything that you remember about him in office or having worked for him, where you basically, that's something that took you aback?
Well, I think one thing I remember very clearly that he was extremely hardworking. Even before he came to the office, he would spend an hour or so meeting his constituents, meeting his party workers, and all that. He used to be ready very, very early. And it was difficult for people like us who were late workers in the night to keep up with his pace. But that was his style, and he got more done in a day than many others could do. I have seen very few politicians who are as hardworking as him. I think he was like his uncle, Mr. Sharad Pawar. He was completely connected to the masses. He had a huge connect, and not only in Baramati, his area, but almost throughout the state. He had supporters in every single district, every single taluka of the state. He used to remember names, he used to remember their backgrounds. And he was definitely destined to lead the state at one day.
And in particular, Baramati, because the images that we saw from Baramati today, there were just people who spontaneously turned up and they were just shouting Dada. This wasn't just about a politician passing away. It almost felt like a personal loss looking at those people. Dada Chabada.
I think he had such a massive connect with the people of Baramati who had seen him rise from a ordinary life as a son of a farmer. He went into ministry, got elected to parliament first, then he went back and never came back to parliament. He then got elected to assembly at a very young age, and he became a minister at a very young age. And he had a deep connect with the local people, whichever party, whichever ideology they belonged to. And he had done something good. He had done some favor to almost anybody that you could think of. He had developed Baramati into a modern township, an educational hub, a research hub. There were many industries who had come to Baramati. Otherwise, Baramati is a fairly dry area. It depends on a irrigation scheme, the Uzni project. But he had changed the whole city. I think even more than his uncle, because while his uncle remained a national leader, Baramati was completely responsibility of Ajit Pawar. He looked after the constituency, the area on behalf of Mr. Sharad Pawar when they're together. He also ran the nitty-gritty of the party.
Mr. Chavan, even as people were just digesting the fact that such a huge tragedy has happened, the Chief Minister of West Bengal made a very significant statement saying that, it seems that he was going to move away from the BJP, which is why this should be investigated as something more than an accident. What do you make of these fears or these insinuations or these apprehensions?
No, I had no words about it. If Mrs. Mamata Banerjee has any specific input, she should share it with the aircraft accident investigation committee, which is going to get into the accident. But I wouldn't like to speculate on that direction at all. There's a 3-day mourning. Everybody's shocked. I think the funeral is slated for tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And lakhs of people will converge in Baramati. I'm worried about the crowd control because I had been through two incidents when the funeral of late Mr. Gopinath Munde of the BJP and the other one of late Rajshekhar Reddy, and I almost survived getting trampled. So I think it's very difficult to control the crowds because the emotional effects are there. Police and the security people cannot use force on such an occasion.